Hey guys, it's John Claude. We're back again with the deck opening. This one's going to go to patron Keith Philliben. Good luck to you. And if you didn't see yesterday's video, I'll put a link right over here. It's pretty cool. There's an opportunity to wear using Hide and Vellum with a Mimic Gel. You could archive or drop to 4 cards every turn. That's kind of insane. Alright, we have a yellow Archon, and the first house is Saurian, followed by, oh my gosh, it's a Brobnar box, isn't it? Brobnar's the second house. Oh, hold up. Third house is Star Alliance, at least. Carlson, the Selfishly Shocked. And you got almost like a chandelier-looking sort of Archon. Is that like maybe like a cat sort of face there? Alright, let's see you got inside this thing. Good luck. It's really fun having a deck that has both the brand new houses in it, but at least in my experience, I don't know how well they play together. Some houses kind of have just better synergies between the two of them, and yeah, I don't know. And obviously, Brobnar, God, Brobnar, why? What is up with Brobnar on this set? Okay, let's once again, as always, hope we see a good Brobnar. Oh, that day is gonna come. Alright, starting off with Star Alliance, it's Psionic Officer laying 3 power after an enemy creature reaps. Archive the top card of your deck. That's a cool card. Piece of Cord, it's an artifact. Play, each player gains 2 amber. After a creature is used to fight, its controller loses 4 amber. Destroy Piece of Cord. Oh, Psi Officer Morpheus, 2 power, 1 armor. After you play a creature with a play effect, trigger its play effect an additional time. This could be interesting. Some pretty good play effects with the Saurians, and obviously Star Alliance has those as well. Zap, 1 amber every play. Deal 1 damage to a creature for each house represented among creatures in play. Psi Officer Quincan, 2 power, elusive. After a player chooses an active house which matches no cards in play, steal an amber. Red alert, if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, deal damage to each enemy creature equal to the difference. Light of the Archons, it's an upgrade, amber at every plate. This creature gets +1 power and +1 armor for each upgrade attached to it. Lieutenant Kirkar, 5 power taunt and has hazardous 3. Explore Rovers, 3 power skirmish, may be played as an upgrade instead of a creature with the text, this creature gains skirmish. Com Officer Kirby, 3 power, play, fight, reap. You may play a non-Star Alliance artifact, upgrade, or action card this turn. Cloaking Dongle, amber at every plate, it's an upgrade. This creature and each of its neighbors gains elusive. Arm Master Molina's 4 power, hazardous 3. Okay, and now we are on to the Saurians. The Calipegian Ideal, it's an upgrade. Play, exalt this creature. This creature gains, you may spend amber on this creature as if it were in your pool. This could be a fun card. Pterodactyl, 12 power, enters play stunned. Only deals 4 damage when fighting. Before the fight, deal 4 damage to each neighbor of the creature Pterodactyl fights. This is already a good target for that Ideal down there. Oh, and you have 2 Pterodactyls, interesting. Dilophosaurus, 4 power, reap. You may look at the top 3 cards of your deck, archive 1, add 1 to your hand, and discard 1. Paraguardian, 6 power, 1 armor, reap. You may exalt it. If you do, ward each of its neighbors. Interesting. So we already have some wards with that Pterodactyl, as well as a way to use amber that's placed on it as amber in our pool. So let's hope we see a tribute, because Pterodactyl's a pretty big creature. Library of Polyosaurus, it's an artifact. Action, move 1 amber from a friendly creature to your pool. Centurion Stenopeus, 3 power, 2 armor. Gets +3 power for each amber on it. Play, fight, reap. You may exalt Centurion Stenopeus. Thero Centurion, 6 power, 1 armor. Play, fight, capture an amber. Rettergallum, 3 power. Play, your opponent's keys cost +3 amber during their next turn. Reap, you may exalt it. This is pretty good with Morpheus, because now you can get this effect twice just by playing it. Odiak the Patrician, 5 power, play, capture an amber. While it has amber on it, your amber cannot be stolen. Legatus Raptor, 4 power, 1 armor, fight. You may exalt it. If you do, ready and use another friendly creature. Brutodon Auxiliary, 6 power taunt, hazardous 2. Dang, this is usually the last Saurian card. That means we didn't hit a tribute. A lot of creatures in there. A couple of play effects to at least combine with that Morpheus, but I don't know. Oh, but hold up, this is a great Brobnar card. Rock Hurling Giant, 6 power. During your turn, each time you discard a Brobnar card from your hand, you may deal 4 damage to a creature. The reason this is so good is because there are so many problem creatures you got to deal with immediately as soon as they play them, and 4 damage is usually enough to take care of those. Mugwump, 6 power. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Mugwump, fully heal Mugwump and give it a +1 power counter. That's awesome. Lava Ball, deal 4 damage to a creature with a 2 damage splash. Shattered Throne, it's an artifact, amber whenever you play it. After a creature is used to fight, it captures an amber. Gravel Guts, 5 power. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Gravel Guts, give Gravel Guts 2 +1 power counters. Oh, almost dropped it. Fire Breath upgrade. Amber Navy play it. This creature gains +3 power and gains before the fight. Deal 2 damage to each neighbor of the creature this creature fights. Interesting, putting that on a pterodactyl. That means not only will it survive longer, but you can actually do 6 damage to the neighbors. Blood Money. Place 2 amber from the common supply on an enemy creature. Stiltkin. Oh, I was all excited about this Brobnar, and here we have Stiltkin. 2 power Skirmish. After a giant is played adjacent to Stiltkin, ready and fight with Stiltkin. Real quick though, hopefully there's only one, and this actually is a pretty good card to pair with that Fire Breath. Drop it down Stiltkin, Fire Breath on same turn, as well as a giant. Does give you an immediate big attack. Mohawk Hunter, 6 power fight. Deal 2 damage to a flank creature. Ire Staff, it's an artifact. Amber, whenever you play it. Action, enrage a creature, give that creature a +1 power counter. Volcano, deal 4 damage to each creature, gain 2 chains. And of course, the last card always seems to be Alaka 4 power. If you have used the creature to fight this turn, Alaka enters play ready. You know, if there had not been the Stiltkin and the Volcano in here, I would have said that this Brobnar would have been pretty, we won't say insane, but pretty dang good. And honestly, as it is, it's not a bad Brobnar for it being Worlds Collide. Let's go ahead and get our Amber up. Quite a bit in Brobnar again. It looked like there was about 5. Just like the last deck, very interesting. Oh my gosh, there is, whoa, none in Saurians. That's a little bit awkward. Okay. Let's see here. Once again, just like the last deck, Red Alert is not that great in a creature-heavy deck. And it really does feel like Worlds Collide decks do have much higher odds of having bigger creature counts. Alright, so we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Okay, 10 amber, oh boy. And it's probably going to have less amber control than the last deck. Ooh. Once again, these houses aren't really known for having amber control. Good news is Shattered Throne here is going to be pretty awesome because there are a lot of creatures we can fight with that should survive. Still go through it here. And honestly, something like Library of Polysaurus, you can almost count as amber. It's almost amber control. It is denying your opponent amber because there's so many creatures in here, they're going to be putting amber on themselves, but we won't count it. Okay, Okay, Quincan. Alright, so amber control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is very low, but as I said, Shattered Throne is reusable. This might be a card you want to mulligan for. But oh man, actually looking at this, talk about 2 cards that do not want to play well together. Peace Accord and Shattered Throne. Man, oh man. Alright, let's get our creatures up now. Quite a few of these. All right, we have 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 23. Very nice. All right, so one of the first things I see in this deck, you obviously want to try and protect this Officer Lang. You got the 1 Kirkar in here. That's a sweet card. Building up your archives, being able to play some big turns in the future is awesome. Kirby's an excellent card. You also have Melina to put next to that Kirkar, giving him 6 hazardous. There aren't many creatures that can fight into that well. So putting Melina, Kirkar, and then any other great creature next to it is pretty awesome. I like having those cards in conjunction with one another. You got the Pterodactyls here. Obviously they're slower, but they should be able to help really control your opponent's board. That's what we're going to have to rely on in this deck. There's no tribute for huge amber control in Saurians. That's a shame. We didn't even have any like Imperiums or wards. Also, there's a pretty good taunt here. This next to Melina is a 5 hazardous. That's interesting. Paraguardian is our only creature that can ward. It doesn't protect itself and the amber that's going to be putting on it, but I guess it is nice. I did kind of like the Pterodactyl with Fire Breath because making this a 15 power creature and doing 6 damage to each of the neighbors, that sounds pretty insane. And once again, being 15 power, it's really hard to get off the board. The Brobnar in here, I'm actually pretty impressed with it. It's a lot better than most decks. Brobnar, and that's by quite a large margin. As I said earlier, the weakest card, probably the Volcano. I don't think you want to play that in a deck that has 23 creatures. But, I mean, it had basically the best amber in this deck. It had the best amber control, thanks to Shattered Throne. And you just had some bigger, better creatures. I know, obviously, Stiltkin's there is not so hot, but look at these creatures here. Gravel Guts can help get itself up to 7. Mugwump just keeps building and gets larger. Rock Hurling Giant is a big body while also help controlling the board. Alaka, just kind of does his thing. Mog Hunter is a 6 power that's also helping control the board. Still can, but the Ire Staff also helps make these guys survive a little bit longer. That's pretty sweet. And Lava Ball is a really good card. This has a real possibility of taking out 2 or 3 of your opponent's creatures for 1. That's really sweet. Yeah, I mean, this is sadly a slower deck, but it does have some elements that make it pretty awesome. I mean, even like having a Star Alliance turn where you play Kirby and do a Lava Ball to control your opponent's board is pretty nice, so you can still then use your Reapers, whatever else you wanted out of here. That's pretty awesome. And Psy Officer Morpheus with Kirby is obviously very awesome. Getting Common Officer Kirby's effect twice really helps cycle your deck that much quicker. Light of the Archons is actually pretty good here, along with the Cloaking Dongle. Cloaking Dongle is a great card to put on Kirby. Kirby himself not really having much survivability. Having the Dongle in here, plus the Archons, does make him last a little bit longer. But honestly, it's going to be a hard choice between him and Morpheus. I guess whichever one you kind of get in conjunction with the upgrades, you're going to go ahead and play those together. Star Alliance does have a decent amount of survivability. Honestly, all of these houses are pretty good about sticking on the board because of the cards they have to complement each other, as well as just being huge, beefy creatures. It takes a lot of setup, but I would love to see a game where you have both those pterodactyls on the board just decimating your opponent's board. That would be awesome. It almost makes it worth the stuns that they put on themselves. Luckily, there's quite a few Saurian creatures to where you don't mind calling them and you're not just getting the stuns off them. You're still using like the Thero Centurion, the Brutodon Auxiliary to do whatever you need to do, whether it's reaping or taking your opponent's creatures off the board while you get that set up. If you can keep those Saurians on the board, your opponent will not be able to do much unless they are just an Amber Rush deck. They can't put anything on the board because a constant 4 damage to 3 targets twice every turn, that's pretty insane. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos and I'll see you next time.